How to push your consulting career in 2024. Hi, my name is Janos Nyari. I'm the CEO and founder of Mastering Consulting. And with Mastering Consulting, we want to help you to have a successful and outstanding consulting career. And in the previous video, I already talked about my predictions for 2024. And if you haven't watched the video, then please watch it, because this is like the foundation for today's video. Because today I want to talk about the concrete actionables, the concrete tips that I can give to you in order to take your career to the next level. So it doesn't matter if you want to get into consulting or if you already work in consulting and want to get up the career ranks. So this video is for you if you want to know how to get to the next level in 2024. So before we talk about that, it's important to understand what I expect 2024 to happen, okay? Again, this is just speculation based on, and these are just assumptions based on many different conversations that I have with, experienced consultants across all the world, and with investors and so on. But this is what I expect, okay? I expect that Q1 and Q2 still will be very difficult for the consulting industry. Then I expect that we will probably see a recession maybe in Q2, and that this will be the trigger event for the consulting industry to pick up again, because there will be an increasing demand for consulting services, because there need to be done a lot of turnarounds, restructurings, cost cuttings, and so on, okay? And currently we are in the state of uncertainty in the consulting industry. That's why corporates keep their budget tight and they don't spend money for consulting services. So we need this kind of trigger event that either, pushes us into an economic upswing or in an economic downturn. It doesn't matter, but we need this trigger event. And I would rather expect that this will be a negative event and will push us into a recession. But still, for the consulting industry, at least, this will probably lead to a situation where we have an increase in the demand for consulting services again. This is what I expect, but the big question now is, what does this mean for you? Okay, so how can you benefit from this situation? And it doesn't matter if you want to get into consulting. So maybe you're a student and want to do an internship, or you want to apply for a full-time position. Maybe you come from the industry and want to work in the consulting industry as a lateral hire, or maybe you got laid off from your consulting firm last year and want to apply to consulting again. So it doesn't matter. So if you are in these situations, this video is for you. But also if you already work in the industry, so maybe you're a consultant, maybe you want to get promoted to project manager, maybe you already are an experienced project manager, or you want to prepare for your consulting career because you already have an offer and want to learn the skills. For you, this video is also relevant because I will talk about that as well. So I want to give like 3 tips. They are more like high-level tips, and then after that I want to give you some more specific tips, okay? But the 3 tips that are relevant, for both groups, so for the people who want to get into consulting, but also for the people who already are in consulting, are the following. So the first tip that I can give you is that you don't give up, because many people write me every day, and I have like phone calls with aspiring or experienced consultants every day who ask for help. And I see a lot of frustration in the market currently. Okay, so people are frustrated because they, don't get into consulting, or they hear stories that, it's pretty tough to even get an invitation for the interview. Maybe they got rejected already last year because the hiring situation was so bad. Also, people who already work in consulting, they see that, their colleagues, they get laid off. And it's just some kind of frustration, because people who want to work in consulting or already work in consulting, these are like, high performers. These are people who work very, very hard, and probably you can identify with that. You work very, very hard to, get into university or business school, to get good grades, or if you already are in consulting, you push very hard to give your best every day to deliver great project performance, but still, it's not enough, okay? And that can be very frustrating, and I understand that. And I feel, that many people are some kind of afraid. They don't know if, the industry is even something for them, because it seems to be so competitive, and chances at the moment seem to be so low to get into consulting and make it up the ranks. and there's a lot of negativity and frustration. I can totally understand that. But the important thing now is to understand that this will be over hopefully soon, okay? So if we think in seasons, so then we are currently in the winter. And I don't know how long the winter lasts, so I made the assumption and I expect, that this will change like probably this year. But I don't know, okay? But one thing we know for sure, and this is that after the winter, there will be a spring, okay? So my recommendation is that you don't give up, okay? Don't like turn your back to the consulting industry and say, hey, probably this is just not for me. Stick with your dreams, stick with your goals. Maybe it's a bit, tougher at the moment, but there will be opportunities again, okay? That's very important. So my advice, and this is my first tip, is for you, don't give up, stick with your dream, okay? And don't give up your dream of working in consulting and making a great career there. Very important. The second tip that I want to give you is that you double down your efforts. Okay, you see, consulting is already very competitive because only the best of the best get in there. And even in a normal year, like only 1 to 5% of the applicants get accepted by consulting firms. Okay, and also if you work in consulting, there's the up and out policy. So like roughly 10% of people in consulting get laid off every year anyhow. I mean, not directly laid off, but due to the upper out principle, they are kindly asked to leave the firm. So it's competitive already. But last year, and probably also like the Q1 and Q2 this year, will continue to be very, very competitive, and even harder than that, okay? Because there will be less positions, and there will be the same, amount of people who apply for the job, or even more, because, there are many consultants out in the market because they got laid off. So it's even more competitive. And the only way to outperform your peers and to, get one of these positions, or, get one of these promotions, is to work harder than the others, to go the extra mile, to work on your skill set, to improve your skill set, to be better prepared for interviews if you want to apply for interviews, or to, be better in the skills that you need in your job if you want to stay within your job or get promoted, okay? And there is no shortcut, and that's really important to understand. Because I still see many people, and like especially last year, I had many phone calls and mentorings with people who are working or who were working at top consulting firms, but still they had a lack on the basic skills. So still like PowerPoint was an issue, or Excel was an issue, or communication was an issue, or problem solving was an issue, and this is kind of frustrating because these mistakes can, or getting laid off can be easily prevented if you work on your skill set early on, and if you double down your efforts and really make sure that you are just the best, that you are one of the high performers in the firm, and then you won't get laid off. And also it's the same if you apply to consulting. The biggest reason, there still are consulting jobs out there, but the reason why people get rejected is because they're not making it into the top 10% or so, okay? And again, the key to deal with that is to just do more. Go the extra mile, invest in your skill set, and there are no excuses. Yes, the market is difficult, and yes, it is a really tough situation, but still there are consulting jobs out there. It's not that the entire industry is shutting down, and yes, it's very difficult, but still there are consulting jobs. So your job has to be to make everything, or to do everything possible that lies within your power to improve your skill set and to make it to the top percent, okay? So this is tip number 2, that you double down your efforts. Then tip number 3 is that you prepare for the opportunity. And this is also what I expect. So consulting firms have a very hard time with, the hiring approach. So typically they either hire too much people or they hire not enough people. Okay, and there's always a kind of delay. So for example, in 2020, when COVID hit, everyone was like in panic mode, and the companies stopped hiring because no one knew, like, okay, many projects got stopped or paused, and everyone thought, the world was going down. And what happened after that was that the Fed printed a lot of money. And then suddenly, companies and corporates had a lot of money, and there was a consulting project boom. And this led to a situation where especially like large firms, they hired like crazy. And 2021, 2022 was very, very easy. It was very, very easy to get into the consulting industry, okay? Because companies were hiring so many people. But this led to a situation because they didn't have enough people, right? And this led to a situation where in 2023, when we saw the downturn, they had way too many people, okay? And now they had to lay off a lot of people. And once we see the turnaround, so maybe, I don't know when it will happen. As I said, I expect it to happen probably around Q2 or Q3. When we see the turnaround, the consulting firms will be in the same situation again, where they will have not enough people, okay? Because then again, there will be the turnaround and they will realize, well, maybe we laid off too many people, maybe we didn't hire enough people. And these are just the natural cycles of consulting firms. And this will open a window of opportunities for those people, who don't give up, who really work hard on it, on their skill set. And if they're ready in this period, this will be a massive opportunity for everyone who wants to make it in the industry. But this strategy only works, if you make sure that you don't give up, if you use your time to prepare your skill set and to learn everything possible in order to make it, and that you are there, when the opportunity window opens, okay? This is really important, okay? And these are the 3 tips. So first, don't give up, double down your efforts, and be ready for the opportunity when it comes, okay? So these are my 3 tips. I will give more specific tips probably in the next video. So make sure that you follow these 3 tips. If you have any specific questions, if you want to have help, if you want to get into consulting, or if you already are consulting and want to improve your skill set, then please reach out to us. You can follow the link below. We offer a very intense mentoring program where we teach you all the skills that you need to make it in the consulting industry. You can apply for it. So please do so, and please don't make the mistake and wait too long, okay? I saw that so often last year that people are approaching us and they are asking for help, but then it's already too late, okay? Because you only have like 1 or 2 evaluation cycles, for example, if you work in consulting, to improve your skill set. And if you're already asking like after the 2nd bad review, then it might be too late. Also, if you want to prepare for the interviews, you only have this 1 chance, okay? So don't approach us too late. This will be a huge mistake. You probably only have 1 shot, okay? So please don't do the mistake and ask for help too late. This is what I see too often, okay? So reach out to us and then we can discuss if and how we can help you. And with that being said, talk to you in the next video.